located the little gray rabbit. If I can get the book open. One sunny morning, Little Gray Rabbit hopped out of his burrow, looking pleased and proud. He was followed by a springtime surprise, 2 new brothers, and 3 new sisters. Now listen carefully, he told the baby bunnies, for I want to be the best big brother that ever there was. I'm going to teach you the lessons of the forest. An owlet, a chicklet, and a little yellow duckling sat down to watch. They all wondered what would happen next. First, said Little Gray Rabbit, you must always keep a sharp eye out for the fox. It's easy if you'll hop through the forest like this. He glanced to his left, he glanced to his right, then he hopped through the green grass. Hippity hoppity hippity hop. Lookity look. Little Gray Rabbit was so busy showing them how to keep a sharp eye out for the fox that he quite forgot to keep a sharp eye out for anyone else. With a hippity hoppity, jumpity oof, he ran smickety smack right into a mother raccoon who was hurrying home to her children. The owlet hooted, the chicken cheeped, the duckling quacked, and the baby bunnies laughed and laughed. The raccoon didn't laugh. Why don't you look where you're going? She exclaimed angrily. Little Gray Rabbit felt very foolish. Teach us more, cried the baby bunnies. I will teach them more, thought Little Gray Rabbit, for I want to be the best big brother that ever was. But from now on I'm going to be very careful. Somehow, though, things just didn't work out the way he'd planned. He meant to show the baby bunnies how to sniff the ground to see if the fox was anywhere around. Instead, with a sniffy, snuffly, sneezy ashoo, he blew a tiny deer mouse clear out of her nest. He meant to show the baby bunnies how to sit up and listen to hear if sneaky fox paws were getting ready to pounce. But his long twitchy ears tickled a small brown squirrel right out of a bush. When he stood on a rock to show the bunnies how to thump a warning with their back feet if the fox came a-creeping, a very loud voice roared, "Who's that thumping on my back?" The rock was not a rock at all. It was big Mr. Turtle, who had been snoozing in the sun. He lumbered to his feet, and off tumbled Little Gray Rabbit, tail over whiskers. The owlet hooted, the chicken cheeped, the duckling quacked, and the baby bunnies laughed and laughed. Little Gray Rabbit just stood there, feeling very foolish. I suppose it does seem very funny to them, he told a small brown mole, but it isn't the least bit funny to me. All at once, Little Gray Rabbit hoppity-looked and sniffed the air. He listened with his long twitchy ears. Someone was sneaking toward them. "Run!" cried Little Gray Rabbit. "The fox is coming!" One big hind foot went thumpity-thump in warning. Away ran all the woodland creatures. Away ran the owlet, the chick, and away ran the owlet and the chick, and the little yellow duckling. Away ran the mole. The baby bunnies hid under a fern. The Little Gray Rabbit stood ready to lead the wily fox far, far away from them. A twig snapped, the bushes swayed, someone stepped into view, but it wasn't a fox at all. It was only Mr. Groundhog out for a breath of fresh springtime air. Little Gray Rabbit had made another mistake. Everyone gathered around him. "What a terrible big brother I've turned out to be," he said sadly. "All I've shown you how is not to behave in the forest." But this time no one laughed. The owlet didn't hoot, the chicken didn't cheep, the duckling didn't quack. And the baby bunnies said, "Why, you taught us how to be brave. You showed us how well you'll look after us. We think you're the best big brother that ever was." And the owlet, the chick, and the little yellow duckling thought so too. They hurried home to tell their families all about the lessons of the forest. "Maybe we've learned more than you think," the baby bunnies told Little Gray Rabbit excitedly. On the way to lunch, in the carrot patch, they showed him how they could hoppity-look, sniff the ground, and listen with their little pink ears. They showed him how they could thump with their hind legs in warning. And they showed him how they could sneak right past the fox without the foxes even knowing it. When he saw that, Little Gray Rabbit did not feel foolish at all. Instead, he felt very proud indeed. The end.